So yeah, we're still at going to the con, but today we decided to take a little detour because we're Wisconsinites and visiting the Sassy Cow Creamery, and they have adorable little animals to say hello to. Hello, baby goat. This is a La Mancha, which is the breed that it is because it has no ears. It's gonna eat my hand. And your baby cow. Baby cow was being friendly before, but now she is being shy. But she's very cute. I love baby cows. Their faces are so sweet. Adam with ice cream to share.
Because goaties love ice cream.
Don't feed the goats ice cream, Adam.
They love ice cream.
No. Got mama sheep. And her babies, which are hiding under there. Hello, sheep. I'm going to be under here, sister sheep.
I'm a wolf.
I am hiding. One's probably going to go under there too. Oh, there it comes. See? And now we're going to nurse. Alright, next time you guys see me, we'll probably be talking about the con again. Hey guys, we're back with our final vlog from Wiscon. Since we're in Madison, we figured we would film at the Capitol building. So that's a thing. This is, those of you who don't know this is my husband Adam, who was with me this whole time being my handler. But he hasn't appeared in many videos because usually he's napping while I'm filming. So that's a thing that happens. But he also came to Wiscon and he enjoyed it as well. So first we're going to talk about what we did today. I talked to you in the last video about stuff I was planning to do, so now let's find out if any of that happened. And then we'll talk about our general impressions of Wiscon as a convention, as a writer's convention, and whether we think like it helped me with the goals that I was trying to achieve by coming here. So, what did we do today?
We slept in.
We slept in, and we had to rush out of the hotel really fast because they were super full, so it was like we had an hour to get out, get all of our shit together and get out. That was fun.
We went to 150, strong female characters.
It was a really big one because obviously a lot of people are interested in writing strong female characters, so mostly we went to that one as something to do because I don't feel like I personally have a problem writing strong female characters, and there wasn't anything too new or original. A lot of talk about representation not only of female characters, but of female characters of color, female characters of different sexual orientations. A big thing that Wiscon is a very inclusive convention, and it is about representation of all sexual orientations, of all gender orientations, I guess. I'm probably using the wrong words. About all of that, and about racial equality and everything. So there was a lot of talk about that in female characters as well, not just that you are female.
Because as underrepresented as good female characters are, good female minority characters are even worse.
Even less represented, and that's just sad.
I have to say, the panelists on that were probably the best panelists as a collective group that I've seen at a singular table.
And then next, we split up because, as I told you last video, I could not decide between Tales from the Slush Pile and speculative asexuality. I went to speculative asexuality and he went to Tales from the Slush Pile. I'll tell you about mine real quickly. It was really cool because we tried to talk about asexuals as they're represented in the media right now, which is pretty much almost utterly non-existent. The asexuals that we do have are more like coded asexuals and never actually come out as asexuals in the story or the media. And there's a lot of asexuals as other, as in asexual robots, asexual aliens, not asexual humans, because there's this notion that to be a human you have to have sex. That is the fundamental human state. And so there's a lot of talk about those characters, what characters we could think of that were asexual, and the big thing that I left with all of the panelists saying to us as writers is we are responsible for making sure that asexuals get seen in our media, and it made me even more determined to write asexual characters. And one of the characters that I hadn't really figured out her sexuality yet in my upcoming book, Boots, is going to be asexual. Like, as soon as the panelists said that, I was like, oh my gosh, she's ace and she's aromantic, and why didn't I think of this sooner? Definitely be trying a lot harder to represent asexuality in my books, because it is so underrepresented and it needs to be, because there are so many teenagers and young people out there who don't know that they're asexual and feel wrong and confused and cannot turn to any characters in their media because there aren't any.
I went to Tales from the Slush Pile, which started off with mostly like horror stories of what not to do, and was actually quite entertaining. They had some good ones out there. I ended up taking copious notes, and I'm hoping to get something put together for internet media that might have a better rendition of the notes. Because at the end, the second half of it, they closed with like more concrete, definitive suggestions and helps other than avoid these worst case scenarios. A couple of the worst case scenarios, if I can remember, is don't, in your cover letter, tell them that you're not sure if your work is good or not, because they really only have 3 to 6 pages of reading and to do per submission in a slush pile. And they have this pile that they have to get through, and they're probably behind because lots of readers send stuff in. And if you go ahead and tell them that you're not sure, that gives it all that much easier for them to be like, well, if they're not sure it's good, why should I even read it? So, if you're not sure, that's fine. Send it in. Just don't tell them. One of the panelists told a story about a book that had two actually had different stories of very abrupt twist endings. One of which was a serious work until the very end where the last line was a joke. If you're going to do a comedy, do a comedy. Do not save a joke for the last line. That's, yeah, not a good...
Pro tip, guys. I hope you're paying attention.
So that was from a pro,
That was
actually.
an actual legitimate pro tip right there.
The second pro tip that I'm channeling for you, it was from another panelist who had a twist ending. The author had basically intentionally been writing crappy tropes, and then at the very end, like, suddenly became Deus Ex author and talking directly to the reader and being like, yeah, look how ridiculous these tropes are. It's as bad as, and then started inserting real-life examples.
Don't do that. That's like maybe an essay or something, not a book that you should have written at all. Okay, so thoughts from the convention overall. There is still more convention. It goes on through Monday, but we're going home now because I am tired of conventioning.
I didn't even realize I went to Monday when I was planning the trip.
Yeah, and we
I'm
also
good at that.
we also don't have a hotel room to stay in tonight, so we'd have to be hobos. So extra thoughts on the convention, what we liked, what we didn't like.
I'm going to point out the green thing again. I really like it. It was pretty cool. Because we ran into people off-site that were like, yo, you're con-goers and you're green tagged. We can approach you. And we met some cool people and got to know people, and it was great.
It's really nice to know when you can approach someone and when you shouldn't. Not everyone was wearing the tags, which did frustrate me, because it's like, now I don't know.
I've always wanted a rule book on how to deal with people.
Exactly.
And I've got one for the con, and you're ignoring it.
This was my perfect world. Everybody had their pronouns and everybody had their preferences where I could see, so I knew exactly how to be. This is like the introvert / socially awkward person's dream situation. And so I liked that it was there. I was sad that a lot of people weren't wearing it, but I like to be able to know. So I think that this is the only convention that I have been to where they have done that kind of thing, and I think they really need to adopt it for other conventions. Obviously, Wiscon, as I said before, is a feminist convention, but it is also all about just inclusivity in all media, but especially in writing and sort of that. And so we had so much inclusivity. It was great to be around so many different people of so many different, lives. Like you see it at other cons, but you don't see it to this extent.
So many beautiful, brilliant book lovers. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, so many writers, so many people who were just so diverse and different, and so nice to be in a place where you were absolutely accepted. Like, even at other conventions, there's this notion that you can come here to be nerdy and be accepted, but if you're non-binary, if you don't fit the mold as well, you're still not accepted. But at Wiscon, it was like complete acceptance of all of your-ness. Another thing that I liked that they did that I haven't seen in a lot of conventions is they had a quiet room, which was very much like the Diogenes Club from Sherlock Holmes. There was no talking. You opened the door very quietly, and you could remain in the quiet room for as long as you wanted. If there was a queue for the quiet room, because they had a people limit in there, you could only be in there for 30 minutes, but it was a place where you could go. So this was a really great con for inclusivity of all of everything, and it was not hard. This is what I love with this con. It was so easy to make everything so inclusive and kind to everyone and differing abilities and the way that our brains work. So easy, and it makes me more frustrated that we don't do it in our day-to-day lives, that we don't have it. And so yeah, I'm spoiled now. This con has spoiled me. I'm gonna go to other conventions and be like, why aren't we being respectful of blah? Why aren't we, why is this a problem?
I want to do my notes real quick so I can credit the correct person. Okay, this is a summarized quote from Andrea Hairston, who was on one of the Writing Strong Women's panel, and she basically, this was a comment about media in general. If you can sell cigarettes that actually kill people, you can sell media with strong minority colors. And it's a summation because there was laughter, she went on a little bit in depth, but that's
basically a lot of it was like, you can sell something that's like actually harmful, so why is it so hard to sell something that's fun?
Right?
You should be able to sell fun.
So don't believe that lie.
That minorities in fiction doesn't sell.
In movies or TV.
People want it so desperately, and yeah.
We've gotten crooked, does it matter?
Eh.
Eh.
Anything that you didn't like about Wiscon?
Well, as somewhat of a rookie in this field, I mean, I have read feminist literature before, but I never hunted out. I read what I read, and I'm not like, oh no, it's feminist, I'm not going to touch it, or what have you. But a lot of the names, especially in the panels, are unrecognized or unfamiliar to me. And like,
yeah.
after going in and experiencing some of it, like, it was very much impressive, and it would have been cool to in the flyer folder thing that tells you about the different events and panels, if they would have a social media link to each of the panelists, or something that's like a little blurb, so I'm like, oh, this is somebody I can look up stuff about and know about and come into the panel more educated about. Especially some of the panels are really small, in small rooms where like you can't fit more than 20 people in, so it's really open and you're kind of expected to be a participant in it. So it'd be nice to know
who they were before you participated.
For cliff notes for rookies or inexperienced people in this culture. Those have obviously been coming. Wiscon's been around for 40 years. Some people are experts at this and recognize everything, but a rookie could really have used that.
I guess I do wish that there had been a little bit more for writers and like places for writers to meet up, because as I explained in the previous video, I kind of have trouble making and maintaining con friends. And the one place that I felt like I was really successful at meeting people was at the meetup for the writers after the critique. And I wish that there had maybe been a little bit more focus on the writers and places for them to specifically go to talk writing together, really, because I need something structured. I can't just go find people and talk about writing with them. I need a structure.
And although many people here were authors of one sort or another, not everyone was. So it's like, can you go up to there should be a special tag that like, I'm a book writer. Talk to me about my book.
Because this was a little bit of a book convention as well, and a lot of people were here to squee over their favorite authors. It is a writing convention, but there's not as much emphasis on the writing as I was hoping, and as the first day gave me the impression that there would be. I didn't get back to the writing side of it, really.
And I mean, the writing workshop was excellent.
Yes, it was very good.
It was so good we want more of it.
A limousine labeled "Just Married" has pulled up, so we might want to leave because they're probably going to be trying to take wedding pictures. So,
wedding pictures at the Capitol building.
In summary, it was really fun.
Definitely.
Highly recommend. Highly recommend. If you're on Twitter, it's going to be the easiest to find out stuff about this, because stuff about Wiscon is nowhere else, but it is hella on Twitter. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining me on my Wiscon adventure.
I'm going to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Bye.
Bye.
And that one's taking a dump. Poop baggie? What do we do with it when the police horse takes a poo? Yep. I think it's exactly what we do. We get out a scooper and a plastic bag. The horse is enormous. Look. She's using the bench to get to the stirrup to get back onto the horse.